Today on GFTV's Furry This Month. How much could FurCon cancellations affect furry fandom? Will the pandemic force the abandonment of one of our most cherished traditions? In a recent survey conducted, it seems grim yet hopeful. The 11 winners of the Ursa Major Awards 2019 are released, names coming up, and closing in on the release of furry documentary film The Fandom. With you today on GFTV's Furry This Month, I'm Paul Sri, More events are starting to get affected as the virus continues, with major events in the Americas, Europe and Asia reporting many cancellations. In the Americas, Brazil Fur Fest, FurCan, Wild Prairie FurCon, Anthro East Coast, Spoke Anthro, Megaplex, Memphis Fur Meet, Anthro Weekend Utah, Motor City FurCon, Indy FurCon, Tails and Tornadoes, Furpocalypse, Camp Faro, Furreality and PaulCon are cancelled. The same goes to Eurofurence, Baltifur, Furry EST, Fawntastic and Furtastic in Europe, as well as First Upon Malaysia, Powai, Thai Tales and Infernity in Asia. With 24 cancellations this month, we have a total of 56 globally, as well as 13 deferred and 26 still on plan. Looking at these cancellations, it is worth noting that this will definitely take a toll on the furry fandom, given that conventions and meets are basically quote-unquote cultural centers for furries to celebrate the fandom. What kind of impacts would this pose for the fandom? And how did the fandom react? What are the kinds of attitudes the fandom have towards this? A recent survey conducted by the GFTV has found that the pandemic could wreak havoc on the fandom, both psychologically and financially, and for some, to a point where their livelihood can be affected just because of FurCons cancelling. Speaking of FurCons, in the midst of FurCon cancellations around the world, there are still FurCons that are going on plan as usual. Even FurCons at the end of the year have cancelled, so why didn't these FurCons follow suit?
I believe that the situation is sometimes you cannot cancel without having a proper resolution or a proper information so that you can know actually if you can cancel the hotel or cancel the activities that you may have with the vendors. So basically, it's very important to understand that it's not something that the conventions don't want to cancel, but that sometimes they need to fulfill some sort of previous advices regarding this. And not all the conventions has like insurances or secures in order that perform proper cancellations.
To FurCons, cancellations are not easy things to do, as they may be charged by the venue because of the change of plans, which could negatively affect them financially. However, as with all rules, there are exceptions. Events can cancel by this thing called force majeure, meaning that they can cancel without any penalties because of natural or unavoidable catastrophes that are unforeseeable. Some examples include war, natural disasters, and pandemics. However, conditions may be getting tighter, since according to Investopedia, questions about what is and is not foreseeable in a legal sense have been raised, given the increased awareness of both man-made and natural disasters, such as pandemics, asteroids, and nuclear warfare. The survey also saw the importance of socializing to furries, in that it holds a special meaning to them, hence explaining the quote-unquote drive for furries to look for many ways to socialize with each other during the pandemic, as well as for some to meet each other as soon as the pandemic ends, all of which can be observed through the survey results. The survey results can be accessed through the QR code currently shown on screen or through the link in the description box below. To our GFTV PodWave listeners, please head over to our YouTube channel for the link. In spite of the pandemic's effect, the fandom has been coming up with new ways to adapt and keep the furry spirit running, with online furcons and events. Although they are in some ways inferior to their physical counterparts, the community's fun and friendship still goes on. On a positive note, virtual reality furry convention Furality Online Experience has recently reported a total of 2,692 attendees and also raised a total of $8,646.93 United States dollars for Save a Fox Rescue, a non-profit organization focusing on rescuing captive non-releasable foxes. In addition to that, ARF Open Day, an online event hosted by Argentinian furcon Argentina Fur Fiesta, has raised a total of $492.99 United States dollars for Bocalan, Argentina, a non-profit specializing in assisted therapy with dogs and training assistance dogs. Just recently, Furry Arts Award for Ursa Major Awards has recently announced the winners for their 2019 awards. Winners are decided as per community vote, with the winners this year are as follows. Best Anthropomorphic Website goes to Fur Affinity. Best Anthropomorphic Game goes to The Untitled Goose by House. The Best Published Illustration goes to Moth Monarch, the Furnal Equinox 2020 t-shirt design. The Best Anthropomorphic Magazine goes to Dog Patch Press by Patch Packrat. Best Comic Strip goes to Housepets by Rick Griffin. Best Graphic Story goes to Beastars Volume 12 to 16 by Paru Itagaki. Best Other Literary Works goes to Volume 10 of Fang. The Best Anthropomorphic Short Fiction goes to This Dog for Hire by Mary E. Loud. The Best Anthropomorphic Novel goes to Fair Trade by Greg Ludeman. Best Short Work on Series goes to Beastars by Orange Studios and Paro Itagaki. And lastly, the Best Anthropomorphic Motion Picture goes to Pokemon Detective Pikachu by Universal Studios. For months, works on a furry documentary feature film has been ongoing. Made as a continuation of their first 7-episode series under the same name, the fandom, led by Ash Coyote, has recently released a trailer for their film set to premiere this year. The film mainly focuses on the origin of furry fandom, its developments until today, and the future of the fandom. The feature film of the fandom will premiere 3rd of July 2020 on Amazon Prime, YouTube, and will also be made available for Blu-ray. You can catch us every Monday at 10 p.m. Singapore time. More furry news come to our GFTV News website. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Join our Telegram channel and chat group, or listen in to GFTV PodWave on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Deezer, and much more. With that, that's all for GFTV's Furry This Month, and see you all next week. Have a great, wonderful, fluffy day.